congratulations. Where are you from?
England.
Did you enjoy traveling in Japan so much?
Yeah, it's a lot easier getting around than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
All the customer service, they will speak a little bit of English as well, so that's quite helpful too.
Which place is the most you liked?
I've only been here in Tokyo for 2 days, so I've still got a few more days here, so I haven't fully experienced it yet.
Yeah.
I'd say Hiroshima is probably the biggest one that I've been to, yeah. Like just like with all the history there and like the museums and the buildings and stuff to see, that it's just, I would recommend it to anyone that's come to Japan. I'd definitely do that. That's one thing I would do, yeah.
Is there any difference between the image before coming to Japan and you are now in Japan?
I wouldn't say really. I was always open-minded to come in here and experiencing the culture anyway. So I would say it's just, I sort of just kept that going whilst here, just being open-minded and like seeing how people act and behave. All the temples and like the cultural stuff and the history and stuff. I always wanted to learn about that anyway when coming here. So.
Is there any Japanese words and phrase you often hear during trip in the cities or in Japanese people's conversation?
Obviously, is it gozaimasu? Thank you.
Yeah.
That's the main one that I hear all the time. I don't see any like other common ones really. You don't really even hear konnichiwa really.
Konnichiwa.
That's like a few people say it, but you don't hear it like it's not like said all the time.
Did you learn any Japanese words or phrase before coming to Japan?
Yeah, so I had this app where I learned a few words as like key words to say in sentences. Konnichiwa, ichi is one. There's loads, but I forget them in the moment.
Yeah.
I've learned all these words. I've been learning for about a year, for a few words. So I come here, and then when I meant to say it, I just forget how to say it completely.
Yeah.
So it's sort of, I then go back and then try to rememorize it to come back out again.
Yeah. Do you have any place or any experience you want to recommend your friends?
Hiroshima is definitely one I'd recommend. I'd say you definitely need to visit temples while you're here as well. The one in Nara, the Great Buddha, you definitely need to see that, I would say. Obviously the museum in Hiroshima, just a whole day in Hiroshima. Yeah, and then go into like maybe some of the nightlife towards the end. But I'm sure there's a lot of things that I would recommend that I've done here.
How was the Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum?
Well, it's an emotional day because I did the art hall first and then the museum after. It's very like eye-opening about like the aftermath of what happened there. It's like we all know about obviously the bomb being dropped and like it was devastating. But actually seeing like the everyday people being affected and like one thing I did learn there was the typhoon that happened like, a few months after the bomb dropped. And then obviously they tell personal stories when you're in the museum as well, like what happened to their lost ones. It's the right word, but it is interesting to know about the people that were left behind and the after effects. And you have people that obviously the burn scars and the ruins of their uniforms and stuff. So.
Could you show me the first picture you took in Japan?
Oh, first picture. That one.
Oh.
Fuji Temple, wasn't it? That was.
Fuji Temple. Could you show me the best shot of Japan?
Going through. I like this one. It's one of my favourites.
Nice.
Probably going to be with the Great Buddha, I'd say. I like that one.
I have a present for you.
Oh, okay.
This one, here you are.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your cooperation. Where are you from?
We're from Denmark.
You visited so many places, I think.
Yes.
So, where have you been in Japan?
The Alps,
Alps?
the Japanese
Japanese Alps?
Yeah, we went through there and then on to Hiroshima, Osaka, Kyoto, and then back to Tokyo.
Yeah, and then we visited Ryokan in
in Hakone.
Hakone.
In those places, which place is your favorite?
That's hard to say. I think they offer different things. And
Yeah, I think so. Which place is impressive for you?
I was quite impressed by the Alps, actually, by the nature.
Yeah.
It surprised me.
Also in Hiroshima, we visited this small island.
Yeah. Miyajima?
Yes.
Exactly. Went all the way up to the top of the highest mountain on the island, which was impressive too.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's really beautiful.
In those places, which place did you think you cannot find in Denmark?
All of them.
All of them? That we have
Not at
no
all.
mountains in Denmark.
It's completely
It's
flat.
completely flat.
Yeah.
So that's something that's different.
Yeah.
All right.
Everything has been very different from Denmark.
Really.
People in Denmark like to see mountains.
Yes, they
I do.
go. Yeah, many do. So we can go to Sweden and Norway
Yeah.
that are quite nearby, and they have mountains. They go to the nearby countries to visit the mountains and hike and so on.
I think it's opposite to Denmark. There are so many mountains in Japan. Probably see many mountains during your travel. How is the scenery of Japan?
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's stunning.
Yeah, did you see Mount Fuji?
Yes,
Yes.
but by the train.
Seen it a couple of times. It wasn't our intention, but we just went by and we saw it. So
Yeah.
we never actually traveled there
Yeah.
just to see the mountain. When the weather is good, you can see it.
Yeah, it's hard to miss.
Yeah.
During this trip, is there any Japanese words or phrase you often hear in Japanese people conversation or in the cities?
Arigato gozaimasu. Anytime you interact with someone.
People are so polite and always saying thank you,
Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sumimasen all the time as well. Yeah.
which sometimes is confusing because as far as we know, sumimasen, it means excuse me.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's like people also say sumimasen when you enter the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So it's like a
it's-
greeting.
Sometimes you can get confused, but
Is there any confusing words for you? Not only words, but also the things.
sometimes it's difficult to know what you are actually ordering
Yeah.
at the restaurant
Yes.
also, because many things are only in Japanese. Trying to translate with our phone,
Yeah.
you can take a picture and it can translate the words. Like even though it's totally different Japanese signs, all of them just say chicken when you translate it. So you don't know which is which thing.
Could you show me the first picture you took in Japan?
Sure.
Yes. So this is my first picture.
Because we don't have toilets like this.
Yeah,
So that was quite.
It's Japanese
Yeah.
original
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
My first one is just this with the bag from the airport
Yeah.
and just like looking around.
I have the present for you.
No.
It's good for travel.
Yeah.
Here.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much. Thank you for your cooperation. Where are you from?
We're from Australia, so Sydney in Australia, which is on the east coast.
Is this your first visit to Japan?
Second for both of us. So we both came just before the end of 2020, so we got to see all the hype up to the 2020 Olympics, and so we left just after that time.
Why did you decide to come back to Japan?
The culture is lovely, the people are lovely.
I've wanted to go for a long time because there's just so much like fun things to do as well, and yeah, it's always like really cool.
Oh, and the food is fabulous.
What food do you like?
Japanese curry is probably my favourite.
Oh, curry.
So good, so good. Yours?
Lawson stuff is pretty good.
Lawson
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's very nice.
At Lawson store, what is the best do you think?
The onigiri is pretty good.
Onigiri.
Onigiri.
What flavor of onigiri?
She chicken like tuna mayo.
Namayo.
Yeah.
So do you like spicy food?
I like it, but a lot of the time it's a bit too spicy for me. So I'm trying to increase my spice tolerance, but sometimes I'm just like, okay, this is a little bit much.
Japanese style curry is available in Australia.
Bearable, yeah.
Do you often eat it?
Yes, so the wonderful thing about Australia is it's very multicultural, so you can have a whole pile of cuisines in one day. So there's a lot of Japanese restaurants and ramen places and curry places that I go to when I'm in Australia, just because it's so good.
When did you feel you are really in Japan?
On the first day, we actually went around Sensoji before it was the peak tourist time, and it was actually really nice, and it was just so peaceful and beautiful. And I think that was really like we were in Japan.
And I think for me, it was kind of when we first stepped out of the hotel, because we arrived at 3 a.m., which is, we were very tired, we were jet lagged, we just wanted to sleep. But the next morning we stepped out onto the street, and the like Japanese street aesthetic is kind of romanticized in the West to an extent. So to see that beautiful street was like, oh my God, I'm actually in Japan. Oh, this is lovely.
Is there any Japanese you often hear during the trip?
Not particularly, but like I know a little bit of like Japanese and such, so I'm good with like the exchange. And people are super helpful as well when it comes to like, you know, like, oh, do you need like a bag or something, like basic stuff, so it's super helpful.
Before coming to Japan, did you learn some Japanese?
I learnt a little bit,
Yeah.
but Mila studied Japanese in high school for 6 years, so she's like close to fluent.
So,
No, that's
so
Yeah,
what
you're close
is
to
your favorite Japanese phrase or words?
今は暑すぎる。Yeah, anyway. Yeah.
Perfect.
蒸し暑いですよね。
蒸し暑いです。本当です。Could you show me the first picture you took in Japan?
Sure.
Yeah.
We've got this lovely, very blurry
Wow.
photo of the airport.
Yeah.
That's just
Wow.
outside Sensoji. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the other amazing thing about Japan is it's got such a long history. So Australia's only been recently colonised in the last 200, 300 years. So old buildings are like 200 years old. But here, this is built like so long ago, and it's got so much cultural history entrenched in it. It's wonderful to see.
What about yours? 浅草寺.
Yeah.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Yeah. super
Wow.
Yeah.
Very rare. No people.
I know.
around.
Yeah.
And then we came back later in the day, and it was absolutely crowded, and we were like, well done, us, for getting there so early.
So I have a present for you.
Thank you.
So it's one for you.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
どうぞ.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the interview. Thank you for your cooperation. Where are you from?
We're from England.
How long have you been in Japan?
4 weeks.
4 weeks, yeah.
4 weeks. Quite
Yeah,
long
long time. Yeah.
A few more days now before we go back. Lots of touristy shopping to
Yeah.
bring back home.
Did you buy these t-shirts also?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the bag. Very cute.
Is this your first visit to Japan?
Yeah.
Why did you decide to come to Japan?
I suppose we've always just really enjoyed sort of Japanese culture exports and things, and had a lot of time off and figured we'd do something exciting, go somewhere different.
And you're learning Japanese as well.
Yeah,
A bit.
a tiny bit.
Did you do any experience that you found typically Japanese?
Yeah, we had a tea
ceremony?
ceremony. But
Lots of tourists.
lots of tourists, felt very Japanese.
Yeah.
We stayed in Ryokan, which had sort of the proper big multi-course meal, which felt very Japanese.
And an onsen.
How was Japanese tea?
It was really good, yeah. Although we found a tea shop in Kamakura,
Yeah.
which did English and Indian tea, and that was really good.
You got very excited.
It had been so long since we had it. It was nice to.
There's only really green
Nice to
tea
have
and
it.
matcha here.
It's hard to get black tea with milk.
Is there any Japanese you often hear during this trip?
Heard some kids saying "kamahareha."
That was very cute. I suppose if you don't know very much, it's easy to not pick up on things. Obviously, you've got sumimasen or onegaishimasu.
Zen.
Zen zen. That's our favourite phrase.
Ah, yeah.
We love zen zen.
Did you use zenzen?
I think we've used it. It's just exciting.
Yeah.
Any sort of onomatopoeia, but sort of the like dun dun.
Dun.
It's a nice phrase.
Can you guess zenzen to mean in English?
So it's not at all.
We thought it was not a door, but
It's a different context.
Yeah, not at all is right, and also very.
Oh.
Both meanings.
so like strong in either way, is it?
Yeah. Did you learn any Japanese before coming to Japan?
Yeah, I learned maybe for a couple months, probably. Which
I didn't.
I haven't really used very much of it.
Slowly reading menus or signs.
Slowly
is
remains to
useful.
find them to work.
Oh, great.
Although we learnt sort of hiragana and katakana, but with kanji being much
Yeah.
more, you can't really tell much from the hiragana, even if
Yeah.
you can tell what the word is sometimes. Katakana is handy for loan words, because often if you can read, you know it's apple juice.
Oh, great.
That's quite handy.
Do you have any favorite Japanese words or phrase?
Probably zen zen's the main one.
Zenzen.
Or dan dan,
Dandan.
gradually.
You
Yeah.
encompass that in your
Yeah.
your life. Yeah.
Just take everything dan dan.
Could you show me the picture you took in Japan first?
The first picture.
Yeah. Oh, what's that?
A friend who really likes One Piece.
So I sent it to him.
It was when I Konbini. Hi.
Which is your best shot in the
Best shot?
photo?
Oh. We picked the one day that was
Yeah.
really, really rainy and cloudy.
So there's a postcard
Yeah.
of what it's meant to look like, and then
Same
no
angle.
Mount Fuji.
I'll give you the present.
Oh,
Please use it on your trip. Thank you so much. Thank you for your cooperation. Where are you from?
Seattle, Washington.
Is this your first visit to Japan?
It's hers. It's my second,
So you recommended her?
kind of.
Yeah.
How did he recommend you to Japan?
We knew we wanted to take a big vacation abroad and had thought about maybe Europe, maybe Asia, and he said, let's go back to Japan.
Oh.
And so,
Last time, for what did you come to Japan? Sightseeing?
Probably a mix of everything: sightseeing, food. We follow a lot of YouTube people from Japan.
so their
So
recommendation.
Yeah, there's a lot of channels that we follow.
From
Yeah.
your experience,
Yeah.
which
what
place did you most take her to go?
I really want to see Tadaiji Temple. That was
Tadaiji
something I remember the most. She really wanted to go to. It was the bamboo forest.
The bamboo forest
Yeah,
in
in
Kyoto?
In Kyoto. Yeah.
Wow. So did you enjoy the bamboo forest?
Yes.
Yes, it was
very much.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Actually, everywhere in Kyoto we went was really beautiful.
Wow. In Kyoto, where did you visit?
We stayed near the station, and then we went to most of the temples around there. So we went to. Do you remember the names?
Ryoanji.
We went to
Ryoanji.
Kiko? Is it Kikon? No.
Kinkakuji.
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 Yeah. And Bamboo Forest.
Oh, we did the train.
The romantic train.
So did you have any experience that you found typically Japanese?
Very
The ryokan.
Ryokan.
It's not like American hotel,
Yeah.
but very, very nice.
So did you sleep on futon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
on futon and had onsen.
Yeah. And sit on the floor.
Yeah, for the kaiseki.
Is there any Japanese words or phrase you often hear on this trip?
Doors nashimarimasu.
Oh, wait, what happened?
Yeah, doors closing. Yeah, on the train and an elevator.
Yeah. Before coming to Japan, did you learn any Japanese words or phrase?
Just little phrases.
Only hi, arigato.
Sumimasen.
Kudasai. Just a little bit.
In those words, which one did you use most?
Arigato.
Arigato. Wow. Is there any words or phrase you want to speak in Japanese during the trip?
Can I pay with credit card?
Okay, it's easy. クレジットカード使えますか？
Credit card.
使えますか？
Okay.
Please, so could you show me the first picture you took in
Oh,
Japan?
the first picture. The first one was probably we stayed in a Muji hotel. Muji
Wow,
hotel.
nice hotel.
Yeah.
So I have the present for you.
Oh.
Here you are. Appreciate it. Thank you.
動画の方楽しんでいただけたでしょうか。少しでも面白いな、また見たいなと思っていただけましたら、チャンネル登録、高評価の方よろしくお願いいたします。英語もインタビューもまだまだ未熟な私ですが、皆様に楽しんでいただけるように勉強していきますので、率直な感想やテーマのご要望などコメント欄にお待ちしております。